It was a foggy, moonlit night. Donald was collecting a goods train at the docks. He was just shunting the final trucks for his train when he heard a faint noise in the distance. Then he heard the noise again. It sounded like someone was calling out to another person. No reply came. The fog danced in between his wheels. Suddenly, a loud splash sounded out. His driver and fireman ran out to see what had happened. But when they reached the end of the dockside, they were surprised to see no one there. The buffers were intact, the sea was calm, and there was no sign of an engine being there at all. Confused, they went back to Donald. When Donald arrived at the big station, he told the Fat Controller everything. When Donald returned to the docks with the Fat Controller, he saw Edward already there with the breakdown cranes and several workmen, along with Salty. As the Fat Controller went to speak with them, Edward looked over at Donald. Donald was petrified, and didn't say another word for the rest of the night. He was so scared that the following night he refused to take his usual goods train from the docks, so Douglas was called in to take its place. One evening, Donald was in the sheds at Elsbridge when Douglas steamed in. That night at the docks, it grew foggy again as Douglas shunted his train. Douglas looked up and could see his trucks near the shed that was by the edge of the dockside. As he headed over to collect them, he heard a faint puffing sound. No one replied. Douglas puffed closer to his trucks, and then, ahead, he saw a green tank engine. The engine didn't reply. Instead, it started rolling slowly forward towards the buffers. Then the engine shrieked loudly, like if it was in pain. The noise was deafening, but Douglas was too scared to move. Then, the engine rolled past the buffers and fell into the sea. Douglas's crew hurried to check on the engine, but when they looked into the sea, nothing was there. No one said a word as Douglas fetched the last of his trucks and headed quietly out of the docks, his face paler than the fog. When Douglas returned to the safety of the sheds, he rolled beside Donald and shut his eyes tight. Donald didn't have to ask anything to know what had happened. Douglas then opened a frightened eye, and when he thought Donald wasn't looking, just to make sure that he would be safe that night.